All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at Google Map of Richard Allen's house, 1967 Whiteman Drive, I do believe it is. So the dot right there is Richard's house. Now let's take a look at the landscape around Richard's house. For one, it's like a pyramid, right? Inside, hello, Miss Debbie Fox. It's like a pyramid inside of his little court there. Here's his house. Here's his house. Okay. Right here with the red dot. And there is actually, now I don't know when this satellite dish or satellite photo was taken. But at the time of this satellite photo, there is a white vehicle parked in Richard's driveway. Now, there was also reports of a red truck seen around there. Now, I'm not sure if we can take that eyewitness's word that there was vehicles around the area that day. But if you look in, like I said, I don't know exactly when this satellite photo was taken. But as far as I can see, there's a white vehicle, looks like a truck or something, in his driveway right there. Now, if you look next door to his house, in the other house, there's a white truck or a red truck right next to his house, parked in the driveway, a red truck. All right, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the landscape of the area of where Richard Allen lived. Now you got a bunch of trees, you got this courtyard here that is a triangle with a bunch of, if you go over here, the water tower drive apartments. I mean, is there something geological here or something Richard's seen in this area that might have made him think of something? Who knows? But there's his house. Let's look at the landscape. Now we know we had reports of people saying they seen someone muddy, bloody, walking, whatever, on one of the roads out there. Supposedly 300, but it might have been 200. But let me just show you the geological layout here. Now, if you come right out here, you walk right out the back of Richard's. Did Richard have any dirt bikes or four wheelers? Did his neighbors or anyone that he used to ride, they would borrow to him, whatever? But if you come right out of Richard's backyard, you are now where? You're in the nature zone of Bridge Creek. Now, what can you do with that? Well, yeah, I don't know. If he was walking, which is possible, why? Why do I say he could have walked all the way there and not even been seen? Because if we zoom out, here's the bridge right up here. There's the bridge. So if you come right out of Richard's house and walking, you could go right down into the big creek and walk It looks like there's a trail there, a couple trails. And you walk, you cross underneath the viaduct, and you keep walking, and you walk, and you walk until you come up on what? And this is all trails in here, ladies and gentlemen. This whole thing is trails. What do you come up on? The bridge. So it's possible that there was vehicles around there. It's possible it wasn't Richard Allen's vehicle they seen, something similar. It's also possible he walked in and walked out of there. And maybe someone did see him on a road walking, right? But maybe down here somewhere, there was reports of someone walking on a road, muddy or bloody. Where? I don't know. I thought they said 300, but it's also possible off of this road. Richard lived right here where this red dot is right here. He could have walked right out of his backyard and walked all the way down there. Uh, and he would have had more time to walk. Why? Well, if he didn't go to his mother's in the morning, like he said, he had all morning. He had all day. If, I'm just saying, if his mother lied and Richard was never there, that means he had all day. His wife was at work. Could he have walked it? Sure. He had his boots on, his hiking boots. It's possible. It's possible he might have had access to a dirt bike or a four-wheeler. That's also possible. But here's the fact of it. The map don't lie. Google map don't lie. Richard Allen could have walked right out his back door, cut right through that person's property, and been in Deer Creek Wild Preserve and walked all the way up to the kill site and been in that area walking. And it's possible there was a black vehicle that someone seen. It's possible it was Richard's. It's possible it wasn't. There was a red truck seen. There was a white truck seen. There was a white van supposedly. A PT Cruiser, purple, dark, dark purple, deep purple, or black. I don't know. Is it a coincidence? When was this map taken? When was this satellite photo taken? Is the key. If it was before 2017, then it's possible the people that seen a white truck around there or white vehicle was true. It's possible. Because if you zoom in to his house, that's his street right there. Whitman Drive. You got a white truck. Right next to it, you got a red truck. The house right next to him is saying it's 1916. Richard Allen's is 1968, 67. You see any dirt bikes in the backyard or any truck? God dang it. Let me move this down a little bit. You see any? Let me zoom out. All right, there's Richard Allen's house right here with the red dot. White truck. There is a red truck, but on the property next to his. Now let me see in the backyard if we could see anything because the shadow from this tree is blocking everything in his backyard. But what I'm looking for is any kind of dirt bike tracks or four-wheeler tracks. Maybe right here it looks like maybe something, a donut or something. Here's his house. It won't let me zoom in too much, but I'm being blocked by the shadow of the tree. And them shadows that you are seeing right now on the ground, casting on the ground, will also play a part in the photos that we see, whether it be in the crime scene photos or even Bridge Guy. Shadows cast upon, and the sun will light up a face and cast shadows upon a face if you're in the right spot. So it's possible he walked. There was reports of someone that was seen somewhere out there, muddy or bloody. Even if they were muddy, I would believe it. Sure, you seen someone out there walking? They were muddy. They were muddy. Well, if he walked and he had a clear shot through all this, he would have had to cross the road on 200. You folks see that? He would have had to cross the road on 200. He wouldn't have been seen over here by the viaduct here. I don't even know if there's a viaduct there. There probably is, because there's a river running through there. So all he had to do was walk through there, over across the highway there, or whatever that is. I think it's a highway. Yeah, it's a highway. 25. And once he got past the highway, it was a clear shot. This is a river running through here. Well, a creek that feeds off of Deer Creek. But it's here. Look at this giant trail here. This is where all the electric poles are. Sure, he could have walked down here because there's trails back here that lead right back up to the bridge. He didn't even have to go this way. He could have just stayed walking the creek, because he knows the creek runs right into the big Deer Creek. This is a creek, folks. You see this little line here? That's what I consider a creek. This here is a river. This gets rapids sometimes, small rapids and stuff. It's a river. This is a creek. And that's something you could jump probably right over or come close to it, or not too deep. So, sure, yeah, if someone said he walked in, you, he was ex-military. The guy walked miles in training. Do you understand that? Running and walking miles in military boot camp and training. So is it possible to walk that? Be there before the girls are there? But yeah. Depending on what time the girls got dropped off there, sure. And now if he didn't even go to his mother's that day and he lied, then he had plenty of time to make it there. Walk right out his back door. So what we got to do is figure out, was that Richard's car, or was Richard in a white truck? When was this satellite photo taken? I don't know, folks. I wish I was smart enough to figure out how to find out what time and date this. I'm looking. I'm looking on this thing to see what it says. Imagery B23 or 2024. I don't know. I really don't know. But when you get a look at the layout, is it possible that he did walk in? And he would be muddy. He would be very muddy. or at least his feet would, or his boots or hiking boots. And then when he walked out after he did the murders, well, sure, he would be bloody. Maybe there was a couple people that spotted him. Maybe he was, maybe, I don't know, maybe he came out of the woods on 25 there, on 625, and was spotted. That's possible also, too. But we know this much. He didn't have to get on North 625 West. He could have stayed in the marsh and kept walking, and the only place he would have had to cross was one time on 200, right by his house. He would have had to cross right there. And I don't even know if he would have had to cross because that's a river, a creek running through there. So that there might be a bridge right there. There might be a bridge right there, small bridge. Right. So he, I don't know. I don't know that might be a street though that goes through there, and maybe it's like a cul-de-sac or something where the water flows through a little pipe or something. Maybe, I don't know. It's not giving us real good detail. I can tell you this much: the landscape is a little bit hilly in there. Could he make that walk and be there? He could. Could he made that walk, been there, no one known he was there except someone that was going to pick him up after it was done? Maybe. I mean, you have to take these things into consideration because when witnesses see something and you don't get to that witness over a long period of the time, things slip their minds. So it's possible they did see these vehicles, but maybe it wasn't Richard. Maybe Richard walked in. Maybe that's why they had reports of someone muddy and bloody. I can see someone saying, "Hey, I seen a muddy guy." Right? I seen a muddy guy there. And then on his way back home after the murders, he might have been bloody. But I don't know because, I mean, he was surrounded by water. He could have washed off. He could have jumped in the river and washed himself completely off of any blood and then walked out wet and muddy. I mean, it was in the high 50s that day, but that night it did get cold again. Matter of fact, on my Facebook page, I do believe that year, 2017, I'll have to check, we had a storm come in and it dumped snow on us, right? Like a foot, we had like a foot of snow out here. But then the next couple days after that, it was really warm and it practically melted everything, right? But that night, it got cold again. We went from the 50s all the way down into the below freezing, right? It was a freak thing, warm weather, and I think I even have that the winter of that year on my Facebook page. A lot of snow, but like I said, a couple days later, it was really warm, and practically everything melted again, and then it got cold again and snowed and covered the ground again. And if you look at most of the photos out there, there is snow in some of the photos, right? You can see little bits of snow. So Yeah, if they said, do you think he could have walked in? Yeah, he could have. He was an ex-military guy. That's what they do in boot camp. You don't do nothing but run and walk or whatever long distances. So yeah, he could have done that given the time. Given the time, how long would it take to walk that? Let's see if there's some kind of way to measure that. Is there a way to measure it? I don't think there's a way to measure it, is there? I don't know. Someone measure from his house here, from here to the bridge, right here, Delphi, Indiana. Does it give me a distance? Debbie, help me out here. How do I do this? Do you have your AI brain chip plugged in right now? Can you tell me how do I measure that? It can't even, what, a mile? Maybe a mile away from his house? Maybe a mile? I don't know. There's his house right there. Chip malfunction. Figures. Whenever I try figures. So, yeah, yeah, pretty weird. And I don't know when this photo was taken, this satellite photo, but there is a white truck, it looks like, right there, or some kind of a white vehicle. It's a truck. It's a white truck. I can tell by the shadow casting onto the concrete. It's a white truck. Or something like maybe a PT Cruiser or not a PT Cruiser. Well, yeah, no, no, it's a truck because you can see the bed in the back. The window comes up, comes down, and then there's the bed back there. It looks like. And right next to his house is a red truck. Right there, parked all the way up into the driveway. So I don't know. I don't know when this was taken. I have no idea. Was this before he moved in or right after he moved in? This satellite photo was taken. This might be a recent satellite photo, and whoever lives there now has a white truck. But find out who this was that lived next to him with this red truck. I mean, we had a lot of vehicles in the beginning of this case that they were looking for. Yeah, that's a creek. I mean, it's a pretty big creek, but in some spots it's pretty small. Yeah, he could. Let's zoom in more and see if we can see some trails or something. Ooh, what's this green thing right here? What is that? What is that? Huh. All right, let's keep going through here. What's this? It looks like an old road. It's an old road that came through here. Might have went through. through the creek. Let's see on the other side. No, not. All right. Yeah, he could have walked all the way through there, right up underneath the viaduct. He continued his hike all the way up to the bridge. And there's the bridge right there. Bridge ends right here. Maybe someone's seen him on North 625 or something. But he never had to get back. He never had to get on a road. Even if he even if he did what he did and he drove there, the girls were found over here. The girls were found over here. He could have just walked all the way through here and never been seen, except for crossing here. But he could have stayed in this tree line all the way to somewhere around here, and then eventually he would have been seen, unless he wanted to walk right through this field here to there. He had to have known there was a camera in this building if he knew that area and been there for a long time. Here's where the old building was. He could have walked right out his back door, walked right in, walked right back home, or had someone pick him up. Maybe there was a white van or a white truck that picked him up. Maybe. See, because we have to take in consideration Richard Allen's brain right now. If he's a schizophrenic, he might be telling us the truth and not even know he's telling us the truth. But then again, he might be lying about some of this stuff. He'll tell you the truth about something, but then the other thing is way too crazy. And people are like, nah, I didn't, don't believe him, whatever. Right? Because in one breath, he's saying he didn't kill the girls. And then you have him telling people he did kill the girls, but he didn't do it the way they said or the way they were found. He might be trying to tell people he knows something, but he can't say anything. He was there, but he wasn't there. I don't know. And then there's the footage of Richard. I guess he had a lot of cats and animals that died. Not like one, two, like a lot. I guess he was burying them in his backyard or something. And then there is the video of him standing in his backyard with what looks like a fillet knife, holding it to a cat. But then he realized he was being filmed and backed away. Did anyone out there did any witnesses hear a dirt bike? Did any witnesses hear a train? A four-wheeler? And when people ask me, is this house stealth? There's surprise and stealth. So it wouldn't shock me if the evidence showed it's possible he walked in. Our eyewitnesses did see these vehicles, but maybe it wasn't Richard's. Because if he was military, it's all about stealth, folks. Trained. Could he have walked that? He could have, because that's what you do in boot camp. Walk. And run. In his delusional mind, it was the perfect place. He probably watched movies like Rambo and stuff, and crazy psychological murder flicks and stuff. Probably was a huge fan. Maybe the porn he was watching or something was violent. You know what? I was having a great day, not coughing at all. Started doing this video, and here I am again getting attacked. So there we go. This is why a lot of people backed out of Delphi. Why a lot of people believe in now the things they believe in. Who knows? Any theories? He wouldn't have been seen. He might be telling these people that wasn't my vehicle. There was reports that there was a lot of vehicles, the same vehicle that he owned supposedly at that time, in that area, in that town. So he might have told them that wasn't his vehicle because he knew he walked in. He might have said certain things. For all we know, they might have found the boots he had. They might have had a print. That might have been stuff they withheld from us. But if he's a part of any kind of brotherhood, then these are probably the people, any kind of witchery or sorcery or sacrificing. These are the ones that are sending this shit to me. We get too close to this case, and they do this shit. And my apologies, because now I'm trying to follow Jesus, and if I follow Jesus, then it's real what the Bible says. And these things are real, these demonic craps or whatever these dudes do. So that's why some of us back off. Would it make sense? Yeah. What is it? Not even a mile from his house? Yeah. In boot camp, he probably ran 5 miles a day. So, yeah. Like I said, that would explain the muddy. Maybe they did see someone before the murders that was muddy. And then afterwards, someone spotted them maybe on the road or from the road, walking in the on the side of the creek or something out here on his way back home. Walking along here. Maybe when he crossed here, someone seen him. Yeah, we might have got a little bit too close. But there you go, folks. (2017). Holy crap, what is that? All right. Jesus. Let me get something to drink. I don't know what else to say. Either he drove or he walked in, unless he had access to a dirt bike. A dirt bike will go through that. A four-wheeler will go through that terrain. If there ain't a lot of fallen trees, all he had to do with a dirt bike, he could have drove the dirt bike and then come off somewhere in here. And then that was it, because if you zoom in, well, you're not going to see too much, but this is all area where he could have drove. He could have jumped here and took this straight down this telephone line path or whatever they say is out here. This looks like a trail that runs that way, and then he runs right here. Right, comes right up through here. There's the bridge. It's very possible. We're looking at all kinds of stuff, right? I don't know when this photo was taken, but there's a white truck in that driveway, and right next to that house, right next to his house, is a red truck. Who knows? But people ain't talking about that. They're not talking. It's impossible to walk now. No, it ain't impossible to walk in. Not when you got that kind of terrain and cover. It's not impossible to walk in. And it's only a mile away, I think they said, not even from his house. So, yeah, if he had nothing to do all day, he could have walked there and walked back in a couple hours after the murders. Like I said, they might have his boots, and they might have just got lucky and got his print if he crossed that river and on the other side came out with the girls. It had to be a little bit muddy. He they might have had something that they just didn't release. I don't know, maybe. I mean, he's the one that said he was wearing his hiking boots or something, his military boots that day. be. But I got to back off of this for a little while because I am not feeling myself right now. And I can only ask Jesus to protect me from whatever this thing is. Hey, Lord, I didn't know. Once I've always believed in God, but I guess once you get so much believing in God, now I know what they're talking about. I mean, from a young kid, I've always, I went to Catholic church and I was baptized, and I've taken breaks and not uh, gone to church for a long time. But I always believed in God in my head, right? That's something good. But I've been thinking that for a while. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God and all the crap that's happened to me. But whenever we talk about this case, it's funny, we get attacked by something. And it could be people around here that don't like what I'm trying to say. I keep forgetting that these people that live down there very well might have family right up here. I know a lot of people were saying a couple of these YouTubers had family up in Michigan and be careful. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And then I didn't realize it. Maybe it was because I had no fear. God was, right? Say what you want to say. Maybe he was working through me because I'm an idiot. That's true. I do have a disability. But whenever we talk about this case, about certain things, it's almost if we ain't getting attacked by trolls, it's some kind of a coughing spasm or sickness or something. It's weird, like like the flu or something, or but then it's gone, right? Or the coughing fit, and then it's gone. You feel fine once you mention Jesus, or you start talking about something is going on. So I don't know. Now, is there any kind of why did Richard Allen want to live there because of this giant triangle? I don't know. Maybe he might have seen the geographic layout and was like, "Oh my God, a triangle." The ocean, we don't know. We have no idea what's in his brain. We have no idea what's in his brain. All these people talking about Odins and all this stuff around there and symbols and maybe in his brain he's seen that triangle with a line in the middle of it and was like, oh my God, I must live there. There's a sign from the great whatever they worship out there. I don't even know. But yes, there we go. My opinion, if the specialists and the professionals came to me and you think he could have walked in from his house, where does he live? Right there. What's the ground cover look like? And there it is, a terrain, little ravine with trees all over it. It's down in there. Uh, he was in the military, ran 5-10 miles a day. Yeah, I think he probably would be able to walk that and be home by dinner. Yeah, and he probably would have loved it because of the cover and the terrain. And he was well hidden, not seen. If he was seen, it was his own mistake by maybe crossing one of these roads or something. Yeah, very possible. Oh, we got a new person here, Andrew James. Yeah, someone's seen him up by the cemetery. Yeah, yeah. It's very possible walking on 300. It's very possible they got the roads wrong. He was walking on 200, right? Right there. It's possible they got it wrong. He was walking on. But seeing, Could he have been seen on 300 walking? Maybe, if he drove. If he drove. But his devious mind, you can see it in his eyes. He thinks he's smart. He's in the military. Why take a risk of being seen when in his mind he's Rambo? He's a sex thief. We don't know if he's a gang or had a bunch of people, club, whatever, affiliated with it. We don't know. And it's nothing but woods, straight to the bridge and straight back. If, yeah, for all we know, he put the blue jacket on to do the murders, and underneath he had camouflage or something, all black or something. So he wasn't seen. Maybe. We don't know what Richard Allen's brain was at this time. I would love to find out when this satellite photo was taken. Was it before 2017 or after? Richard Allen moved in there in 2000 and what? Was it 60? Hold on, let me check this little lady. Oh, look at that face. Look at the frown on his face. Yeah, look at the glasses, right? You remember that? You remember the videos out? Everyone thought it was cameras. Oh my God, they filmed it. The guy's got cameras, right? It's Ron Logan with a camera. Look at right there. He's got sunglasses on. He's got them over his ball cap. All right, let's back up here because this little lady told son of a
Medicare plans change from one year to the next.
Richard Allen's wife, Kathy,
I'm sorry, folks. I always mess. I'm an idiot. Stupid. Hello, Miss ATS News. I hope you're doing good. I hope the baby's good.
Was arrested. 50-year-old Richard Allen was arrested, and he was taken into custody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am watching this young lady Plunder. I think that's her name. Miss Plunder. Check out her channel, Miss Plunder. I think she says when Richard Allen moved there, he lived in Mexico.
At the Indiana State Police's post in West Lafayette on Wednesday, October 26th. But many of us didn't really hear the news until Friday, October 28th. That was the Friday that Richard was formally charged with 2 counts of murder. I spent that Friday and Saturday and Sunday gathering as much information as I could from Facebook to learn about Richard Allen, his family, the state of their marriage, and everything. Richard Allen's home on Whitman Drive that has also become a central figure in this case, chiefly because of its proximity to the infamous High Bridge, where reportedly we believe Richard could be seen walking and telling Abby and Libby guys down the hill. According to Richard and Kathy's marriage license, they married each other really young when they were both only 19 years of age. Now they are both 50, and that falls right in line with some videos we're going to watch. Their 25th anniversary celebration videos and photos that Kathy posted November 29, 2016, nearly 6 years ago, on the upcoming November 29, 2022.
Now, see, he's got the nose of the sketch with the guy with the Irish cap on. He's that nose right there fits that sketch. And the goatee he's got right now.
The 50-year-old couple likely won't be celebrating their 31st wedding anniversary.
All right, let's get to when he moved there. When did he move there?
November 20th, Liberty, Germany. Let's read it first. But it took Kathy, his wife, a couple of days to get rid of hers. Other people have a bunch of compassion for Kathy and her daughter, and they realize perhaps be one of the largest trials we've Well, they are both 50, and that home on Whiteman Drive, that has also become a central figure in this case, chiefly because of its proximity to 6. That's when he purchased that famous home on could become the
All
central
right, here
figure
she's
in
gonna
what
say
could
it
be
right
one
now.
of the largest trials we've seen in years. But first, a little history. Richard Allen moved to Delphi, Indiana from Mexico, Indiana in December of 2006. That's when he purchased could become the central figure in what could be one of.
He moved into that house in 2006. We gotta find out when that satellite photo was taken and see if there's any other satellite photos from 2006 to 2017. Let's see if we can see anything in them. Well, I don't know. Here I am talking like some investigator or something, like I'm running the whole division of. But yeah, I mean, do they catalog these satellite photos, or do they dump them after so many years? They get rid of the satellite photos, or do they keep them documented? Right, 2006. Here's the whole year of 2006 of that area's satellite photos. I don't know. I don't know that much about that. I don't know if they would. Mr. Andrew, what's he saying? Let's get in the chat and see what he's saying. You make a point. He could sneak back to his house, but Indiana said he parked there and drove his car. Yeah, I know, but what if they were mistaken? What if, I guess after this court, it went into court, they found out that there was like 2,000 cars that matched the same car as his in color, but they had different rims or something. What if they got it wrong? Let's just say, what if they got it wrong? They probably got it right. They probably have other stuff. Maybe they didn't have the vehicle. They didn't have a plate. Uh, we don't know. Let's say he didn't drive. Let's say Richard Allen thought he was Rambo. Maybe he killed before he got away with it. He had to be. Mr. Trump, how are you doing tonight? Congratulations on winning. Let's do what you said we're going to do. The swamp, the rivers, drain everything. Replace it with clean water. Clean water. Now let's get back to this. Now, what if in Richard Allen's head he was Rambo? What if Richard Allen killed before? You just don't do this your first kill. It's like Brian Kohlberger, right? First time he got caught, no, you don't go into somebody's house at night, kill 4 people, and it be your first kill and walk out calm and cool like that. You build yourself up with either. I wonder if Kohlberger had any military training. I don't know. He was around a lot of cadets and police and stuff. So, and what do they do? What do police cadets do and stuff? They run like the military all day. So, if he felt confident and he was Rambo in his head and stealthy, maybe he never got caught. Then maybe that's why he never got caught in the first place, was because he was stealthy. And he walked in. He had his military boots. They looked like Desert Storm. Maybe, I don't know, when was he in? They looked a tannish color. Could he have done that? The train with canvas military boots? Oh, heck yeah. Maybe they just got lucky. He talked about his boots. They collected all the boots, all the stuff there. Maybe he got rid of them boots. Right? Maybe he's saying, hey, well, them are my military boots. And then they're at the house and no bueno, no military boots. Where are the military boots? Did he get rid of them? I mean, you can't say, oh, well, that's not proof. No, it's not proof. But it does question. If you're wearing them that day, how come you don't have them now? What'd you do with them? Because military guys, they keep their crap. They take pride in it. They served for their country. They keep their uniforms, their pins, and their boots. Right? So could he have done that walk? Yep. Could he have been stealthy enough, changed after the murders and walked back? Yep. That would report someone saying they seen someone muddy walking either on the road or off the side of the road in the woods. Yeah, it would make sense to me. Look, maybe they got, like I said, maybe they got lucky. And when he said that they had them were his military boots or hiking boots or whatever, and let's just say he did keep them, they found them, and they had a print there. That might have been something that they did hold. And when he said that, and they got his boots or whatever, and they might have been like, it could be him. I don't know. But I do think it's possible to walk there and walk back to his house and not even be seen. And maybe he just messed up this time and he got seen. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, come on. That I don't even know. What is that? Maybe a mile and a half from there? I can't measure it because I don't know how to use this. It's not a stupid computer. It knows more than me, but I don't know how to measure it to tell me how far it is from there to the bridge. And if it's a mile there and a mile back, then yeah, he could have walked there and walked back and been home before his wife got home. Sure. Did the murders, walked back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe his wife was home and he came home muddy or bloody. But it don't make sense because he had plenty of water. I mean, he could have dove into the river and washed the blood completely off of him. Before he went into the house, maybe. I mean, if it was as gory as they said, depending, I've been looking at the wounds. And everybody says with them wounds, he would have been covered in blood and splatter and everything. Not if he was behind him. The trajectory, if he's standing behind him and does it. No, it's possible maybe he would have got some on his hand, but that was about it. He could have stepped back. And as sick as it sounds, and my heart goes out to the mother and father of these kids, but he could have done this from behind and just stepped back and watched this happen as the other girls watched, maybe gagged or something so they couldn't scream. I mean, that's one theory that is possible. People say it's not. No, it's possible. He could have done that. Didn't have any blood on him except for his hands. Maybe his boots or something if he walked in it or whatever. But then they would have blood footprints. Are we seeing bloody footprints around the crime scene? I don't know, but there would have been evidence of that. Now it's possible he did it from behind, stepped back, and let him bleed out, and the blood squirted out, and he just sat back and either recorded it, the 6 on him, or just stepped back and watched this happen, and then washed his hands off after he was done doing whatever, essaying them or taken their clothes off and been out of there. Yeah. One guy, yeah, if he has enough time. And the girls were scared enough. Yes, one guy. But from all these cars and other people placing other men at that area points to possibly they all met up there. And Richard walked in. And someone that was there to assist was driving one of these vehicles that these witnesses seen. That is also very possible. And that's just my theories. I know I'm not right. I know maybe I am right, but looking at the geological area and muddy and bloody and people walking, right? Maybe there was somebody walking, but in the woods that seen someone walking in the woods out there, muddy, and then after the murders, someone seen him when he started walking out through the woods. Someone seen him possibly muddy and bloody. The key is if he walked in, was his wife home? Right? Did he change clothes before he went in the house? When he came home that day, did he have his army boots? If his wife was home, right? I mean, I know it don't. I'm not the smartest person, but I'm just looking at the geological area around there, and maybe that's why these guys like it so much out there, is because it's in the cover, and they might be able to all walk it from their house and get there. Because I'm going to tell you something right now, folks. You can also access it from these homes right here. You can access it right from here. Right? Comes over here, and then you walk down this is all wooded area right to the bridge. This is all trails. Look at it. Leads right back around here. Huh? If these idiots know the area around there, yeah, dirt bike, four-wheeler, or whatever. Canoe? I don't think so. I don't know. The water was flowing. It was February. We did have snow. Everything melted. Everything ran into that creek, into Dare Creek. And the water was higher than what everyone thinks it was. And you can actually see people walking in it. And it's waist high, a little bit over waist high. So, yeah. I mean, what a crazy case. Sometimes I do feel like these other YouTubers and everyone's telling the truth. We get attacked by something. Or, I don't know, maybe it's the devil not wanting us to solve the case. I mean, it could have happened both ways. He drove there. Okay. People seen him coming in. All right. He was wearing blue, whatever. Right? All right. He came in. He waited. Oh my God. He seen 3 or 4 girls' hair. He seen 3 girls' hair on the bridge. He does the murder. Right? Changes clothes and he's all muddy or whatever, bloody. Then he walks out. Someone said they seen him on 300. And then he knows there's a camera here. He remembers probably, oh my God, there's a camera there. And he jumps right back on the trail where the girls are dropped off at. And he walks out. Other people see him or something. There's a whole bunch of reports of different people. Flannel guy there, dog walking guy there, dog woman, dog walker there, all these girls and everything. Either option, either scenario there. One man, yes, if he had enough time. If he brought stuff to make sure the girls were silent and no one could hear them if they were screaming, yeah. Enter. Supposedly, they said they found bandanas there or something, or hankies or something, or like, yeah. He had them gagged or whatever. For for all we know, he put his hands over their mouth and caused the wounds, and just sat there behind them and held their mouths, and they couldn't scream. Yeah, that's a scenario that probably he was very capable. But then you would have to see, was there any DNA on the mouth, any hand print or anything, right? I don't know. They say, I don't know if there would be anything there. I don't know if that's possible. You would have to talk to a professional black ops killing machine or something to see if this is capable of doing without getting blood all over your body and boots. I mean, that's what you would have to do. You would have to talk to a professional killer. Enter Brian Kohlberger and his little ad of contact him. He's doing studies on have you ever killed people and military people. Yeah, we're that's possible too. Yeah, who knows? It is a mind bending case. Anything is possible. There could have been many involved, and there could have been one man. Mind bending case. All kinds of scenarios, and there ain't none of them bad. There ain't none of them scenarios bad. I mean, other than it was Bigfoot and Moth and Man or whatever. Demonic stuff, yeah. There ain't one bad of scenario or theory in this case because, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe anything was possible in this case. It was possible one man did this alone with enough time, and they all have their whole time. The whole time schedule's off. Uh, at least the point of the killing, maybe, because if he didn't go to his mother's, then he could have walked that and been there before the girls were dropped off waiting. Did the murders, started heading back. Uh, and been home by 5, 6 o'clock, maybe even seen it on the news. We know he was at home by 11. I bet you he's seen it on the news because it was on the news hair. Now, if he's a real sicko, like they're saying, then he was watching everything. He was reliving it. And finally, the guilt and the man. I'm telling you, they better backtrack everything and put his DNA through everything and look at every case in that area or in Mexico or any states around there to see how long. You just don't do this, man. You just don't. You just don't. Too risky. People there, these witnesses, too risky unless you're very confident and you don't panic. And he was trained to do that. Then yes, I can see one dude doing this and sitting there lurking, watching people walk by after the murders occurred. And once they walked by, he skimmied across a trail or whatever, um, and made his way back home. A mission, maybe. Now, let me tell you guys something. I love the military. My family and friends were in the military, but sometimes people in the military can't even figure out human brain. I can't figure it out. Doctors say you're an idiot. That's some stuff, but some stuff that indulge you or whatever, you learn how to do them. But mathematics stuff, I don't know. Writing, and my writing's not too. It's like chicken scratch sometimes when I'm having bad days. Sometimes vision and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I can see how he got lost. Right? He must have been so confident to do something like this. He must have done something. He must have killed a lot. Well, we know if he was in any kind of military battle and seen fire time, then yeah, he's probably lost somewhere in Iraq or something, man. And just a sick sex freak and was killing people. It's very possible. I mean, I'm not saying he's he might not be, but there's a good chance he might be. For all we know, he might have left clues there that we miss, or evidence that we miss, or the investigators miss. I I can't believe RA did this. Something's wrong in Delphi, as Zolo says. I do believe something's going on. Hey, Tech Death Hippie, Andrew James, Miss Debbie Thoughts. Everything okay, Debbie? Miss ATS News, how you doing? Yeah. And folks, I'm going to be honest with you. This shoe tree, was it there before the murders? How long was that shoe tree there? This shoe tree, people are like, it's just a shoe tree. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not joking. That shoe tree out there, if it's been out there for many, many years, and then all of a sudden it appeared in 2006, shoes started popping up on it. Ladies and gentlemen, you better start scanning that area. You might have yourself a serial killer, and them shoes are his 50. Or this group of pedos, sickos. That area might be their hotspot, and that's their 50. This is some sick stuff. I mean, I'm saying it. If when did that shoe tree pop up? And nobody even knew about a shoe tree out there until a couple of years ago. Oh, the shoe tree. What? Shoe tree? And then I seen that Hoosier dude out there walking the trail. He come around the corner of the trail. That effing shoe tree. Tons of shoes hanging from it. Oh, you better get some cadaver dogs out there and check around just to be safe, man. These son of a bitches were flaunting it right in front of their faces. Every single one of these guys behind bars said they knew this place. It was a hangout for all in the party and meth and all that. I bet you best get yourself some cadaver dogs out there. I'm laughing because I can't believe they walked away from it and wouldn't be like, where in the F did all these shoes come from? All right, something's attacking me again. I gotta chill. I gotta chill out. Does that make sense to anybody? You're all right, Deb? No, but everyone's saying you're crazy. Are you kidding me? Every single one of these guys that are behind bars said that's that's the place. Everybody goes there. Kurt said he can cross that bridge within a minute, running. That he's been out there so many times. Hey, I mean, I'm not trying to spook people, but there's got to be somebody in the government that connected the dots, right? Somebody would have a brain out there. You got a shoe tree out there. You got 2 girls dead. The shoe tree with 50 pairs of shoes hanging from it, and they look like they're old shoes and everything. And everyone's, how come we didn't hear about this in the case? I'm gonna be honest with you. Is this movie material, box office? Is there potential if someone was to do a movie? Oh yeah, it's got everything. It's got everything. But I'm afraid that they created it so we would look at it and go, well, maybe there is something there, but and then people would make money. Do you understand, folks? I'd shelf it. But in my movie mind, my movie thing I do on this channel, would it make a great horror movie or mystery thing or whatever? Yes, it would. But now we have to ask ourselves, we're contributing to this because I keep forgetting there's people in this world that have worse disabilities and psychological problems than me. And we might very well be fueling it by making one of the greatest horror movies ever. And I don't know, Jesus. I'm not sure about that, but I don't know. And I'm not trying to sound like a sicko myself, but yeah, I can see why people are talking about a movie and all this and that. The family's going to make big money. The family's well and everything. So yeah, I can see what's going on. And then in my head, I'm seeing movie production and things going on. And this could be a great film, right? But then you got to ask about morals and integrity, and are we fueling into it? Are we helping these sickos live their delusions and then they go out and do it? I do believe Richard Allen might be a serial rapist. We'd have to check more FBI files and sketches of that area or around in other stuff. Where did he go vacation? Did his wife ever go on vacation? Leave him alone? Did he ever have to go out of state for work? Did he? You know, I don't know. Lord, I don't know if I can handle being an investigator. I don't think I can handle this. I don't have I have disability, so I got to step away from this for a while because it's monkeying with my own mental illness. Meaning, all I'm doing is thinking about: is this possible? Could he have done this? Could they have done this? Could this whole time lapse be messed up? Could the witnesses be right, but they were off a little bit on something? And which is common when 7 years go by, or 5 years go by, or whatever, a year, 2 years, 6 months for some of us. Can't remember what we were wearing 6 months ago. Some of us have been wearing the same clothes for 6 months. I mean, some people I've seen that with severe disabilities that are mental illnesses that just never change clothes or shower. Thank God my disability is not that bad. But my heart goes out to them people because they're lost in a world. Sometimes you come out of it and you're okay for a while, and then sometimes something triggers you and you're lost in a mad world. Yeah. Sometimes people do nothing but sit on the couch all day, curled up in pain, and it's all in their head. There's nothing wrong with them, but in their brain, they're in pain. Some of us are in real pain, but we don't medicate ourselves. And the pain, after a long time, pain will drive you insane. So could he have walked in, walked out, walked right out of his back door, right to the place? Could he have walked on the street halfway? People seen someone walking on the street, wasn't muddy or bloody, and then he jumped off into this ravine. And walked in. Yep, very possible. Now that we know his past, he was in the military. He loved knives, box cutters. He had guns, army boots. He probably even had camp or hunting stuff and dark clothes or whatever. Yeah, probably. It's possible. And it's possible they got it right. He did drive in and did this and walked out the other way and was spotted a couple times. But people got the descriptions wrong, or he changed clothes. Yeah, very possible. They got him on something, folks, right? They had to have something stone cold that they didn't show. Maybe they showed in court. Maybe they cut a deal behind scenes. Maybe defense knew they had evidence and they didn't even have to show it, but they had it if need be. Maybe the phones connected him to Keegan Kline, other sickos, other people in clubs that maybe he was affiliated with, friends. Maybe some of these phones connected back to someone close to the family. It's very possible. A lot of people are saying maybe he was a hit guy or something. Family couldn't get his hands dirty, or they couldn't get. Well, maybe with all the talk out there about the girls were SA'd or maybe pregnant, or their uncle or cousin or something, and then maybe that one of the girls was dating already, and yeah, I mean, all this stuff is possible. But what gets me is these YouTubers that are coming bluntly out and they're saying that's impossible. There's no way that it ain't impossible. Because you got to have an open mind. And in a murder case, number one training is anything is possible. Even the family is possible. Everybody knows that. That's why I can't believe these people are. You throw out a scenario and they're like, what are you, nuts? No, not nuts at all. Right? No, you got to look at what's going on. But when you sit and watch nothing but crime videos all day, documentaries on this crap for many years, I'm sick of it. I want to go back to playing guitar and music, movie or something. I mean, what is it up with all these triangles and points in this shot? Look at it. You got a triangle here, right? You got these jagged areas here. I mean, can you guys see that? What is it with it? Is there something that drew these people to this? I guess this area's got a lot of pedos from what they're saying. I mean, you got the salt mines or whatever. What is this over here? Is that the salt mines? I think they said there was a mine out there somewhere. That might be it. I don't know, man. That might be where the trains are coming from. We know the train ran through here. So they must have moved the track somewhere, but you could still hear the trains out here. And that train might play a part in that cave. That train might have been on that recording. And that train might have been on that recording. But we haven't heard all the recording. We don't even know what sequence it is in. It could just be when the girls were talking, they take a clip of that, and then they take a clip of someone talking that was way after that or way before or whatever, and put it. We don't know what kind of sequence they did it, what kind of editing or anything. Yeah, very interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good night. It's late. God bless everyone. Thanks for everyone stopping in. You all have great theories and Don't let anyone tell you that anything is not, or that it's impossible. I mean, within reasonable doubt, right? We know it wasn't Bigfoot, right? All right, you folks have a good night. We'll see you next time on the Delphi case. Thank the mods for stopping in. Hope you're all having a great night. God bless.